Lion and Mouse. On a cold winter day, when snow was everywhere, there was a mouse looking for food. He was looking all around, was in every hole in the ground. Sometimes on top of the trees, he was making round. One day, when the branch broke suddenly, he thought he was going to fall to the ground, but he fell into a soft yellow bed. Luckily, he jumped like a child happily. Then he heard a very scary sound.
Roar!
This voice belonged to the lion, the king of the forest. When the mouse looked around, he realized that it was not a bed, but the lion's back. Well, this is too bad. When the lion stood up angrily, the mouse jumped down quickly. When he asked,
Are you the one jumping on top of me?
the mouse shook his head fearfully.
Give me a reason why shouldn't I devour you right away? Roar!
Maybe I can do a favor too. I promise. Please, let me go.
A favor? You are a brave mouse. How can a tiny thing like you do me any favor? Even if I itch you, I can't fill my stomach. Oh, go away from here. You are free now.
The lion set the mouse free, and the mouse ran away instantly. Seasons passed. The sun melted the snow. The lion went for a walk in all his majesty, caught in the hunter's trap painfully, and was hanging upside down helplessly.
Roar! Help! Roar!
The lion was so scared, he thought he would never be safe. No one heard his roars in hope of help until he got tired, struggled in the net. The little mouse heard the lion finally. He ran to him quickly. When the lion saw the little mouse, he lost his hope completely.
Is it you who came to save me in this huge forest? You're a little mouse. You'll never achieve this.
As promised, now it's my turn to do you a favor. Watch and see. The mouse ignored the lion's words. He climbed the tree bravely, saved the lion immediately. The king of the forest was now free, gained his freedom surprisingly. He took the little mouse in his hands and thanked him gratefully. The lion understood that goodness has nothing to do with being small or big, thanks to the mouse's bravery. Because goodness is not in the body, but hidden in warm hearts solely.
In a forest lived a rather rickety mouse. He was so afraid of the fox, the wolf, and even himself for that matter, that if the wind blew and a branch cracked, he looked around for a hole he could hide in. Because of this, all the little animals made fun of him.
How scared is he?
You're even scared of the wind.
You're so scared.
You're so scared. You're so scared.
One day, the mouse got his act together and went over to see the king of the jungle, the lion. The lion had just finished having his lunch. He was taking a nap in front of the cave. The mouse's friends were all curious as to what the mouse had planned. The mouse started to climb up the lion's tail. He got up on the lion's back. With a very confident look on his face, he posed to his friends. Although he was very scared, he was doing everything in his hand not to make it obvious. Right at that moment, the lion woke up. And as he shook his fur, the mouse fell off. The mouse and the lion came eye to eye. All the other animals were worried.
Oh no, the lion will swallow the mouse. What nerve, what courage. What are you doing on my back?
Kick out the jungle. Please don't eat me. I'm the most scared and the most vulnerable of them all. My life passes on by shaking with fear. If a leaf falls off of the tree, I'm scared. I'm fed up with this. I want to get rid of this fear. You're the king of the jungle. With just one big roar, the animals fear you. Would you consider taking me into your custody?
The lion listened to the mouse in silence. The mouse was wondering what his reply was going to be.
And why should I help you? Give me one good reason as to why I shouldn't eat you.
Your help will be returned, I promise. Maybe one day I will help you.
As soon as the mouse finished what he had to say, the lion roared in such a way.
How can such a tiny mouse as yourself be of any help to me?
But seeing the tiny mouse shaking in front of him, the lion decided not to eat him.
Thank God I am full. Now get out of my sight.
The mouse ran and got away from there. Watching all that was happening from afar, the friends of the mouse were really surprised. Some time had passed by, the lion got hungry and started wandering around in the forest. But he could not notice the hunter's trap and got caught. He was hung in the air in a big net. He tried to break free from the net, but he could not do it. He was the king of the forest, so if he could yell for help, he would be humiliated, and all the hunters would hear him and come to get him faster. Being out of options, he began to wait. Meanwhile, the other animals living in the forest noticed the lion. But nobody could dare get close to him. When he was passing by, Little Mouse saw the lion, and he decided to help him. He went directly next to him. He started to climb the lion's long tail, and when he reached the net, he began to chew on it. At that moment, the bunny came running next to them.
Hey, buddy, hurry up. The hunters are coming.
The other animals who were gathered around suddenly started to run around when they heard the word hunter. But the mouse kept on chewing with persistence. In the end, the net was torn apart and the lion fell down and got away.
Come on, jump on my back. Let's get out of here.
The mouse jumped on the lion's back and they got away from there. All breathless, the lion arrived in front of his cave. He kneeled down and the mouse jumped off.
When you told me that one day you might be able to help me, I underestimated you. I thought you were a tiny mouse with no use at all. But you saved my life. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, my king.
You don't have to be afraid of me anymore. In fact, you do not need to fear anything because you're a very courageous mouse. If I am the king of the jungle, from now on, you are my courageous prince.
Lion and the mouse began to laugh. All the animals watching all that was happening from afar came out and applauded the courageous mouse. The lion and the mouse became best friends, and the forest lived in peace forever.
Once upon a time, in a lush forest, there lived a small mouse. There was a huge bear who lived in a neighboring cave. The big bear, who had hibernated months ago, was still sleeping and snoring loudly. The little mouse went to him one day to wake the bear up because he could not sleep all winter due to the bear's noisy snoring.
Mr. Bear? Hey, Mr. Bear! Hey! Summer has come. You can wake up any time now.
However, the bear still did not wake up. The little mouse came to the bear this time with a bugle. He blew vigorously into the bugle. But the bear continued to sleep. While the little mouse was wandering sleeplessly in the forest, he met several animal friends. What happened, little mouse? Why are you sad?
Don't ask, guys. All winter I could not sleep because of the bear's snoring, and he still won't wake up.
Maybe the lion can help you.
What? Why would I go talk to him?
Because the lion roars so loud that everyone jumps up the instant they hear his loud voice. Though the little mouse was a little scared by the thought, he went to the lion, the king of the forest, to request his assistance. The lion was sleeping in front of his cave. The little mouse was terrified when he saw the mighty beast, so he decided to give up his plan and go back home. But when he accidentally stepped on a branch in front of him, the big cat woke up and a tiny, trembling voice reached his ears.
What's that noise? What are you doing in front of my cave?
Well, king of the forest, sorry to wake you up. Well, I, came to ask for your help.
You're not even big enough to be considered snack size, little mouse. Why should I help you?
Dear fearsome lion, you have to wake up my neighbor, the big bear, who won't wake up from hibernation. Nothing I do seems to wake him. Since I am small, I have a little voice. But one roar from you can solve everything.
I don't have time to spend for a tiny, little, useless mouse like you. I am king of the forest.
The lion walked away without helping the mouse. He went to a corner where no one could see him. He leaned against a tree and started to itch like crazy. The lion was so itchy that he didn't want anyone to see him like this, because he was the king of the forest. The little mouse, on the other hand, was coming home sadly and heard wheezing from the depths of the forest. He went to where the voice came from, and he saw the lion. Moreover, the lion was itching himself non-stop and looking rather silly in the process. The mouse immediately approached the lion. When the lion saw him, he stopped itching, but it was clear he was still in pain and discomfort due to the itch.
Mr. Lion, what happened to you?
I don't know, Mouse. I don't know. I can't stop itching myself. Oh. You haven't seen or heard anything, Mouse. Are we clear?
The mouse carefully fixed his tiny eyes on the lion and saw a bunch of tiny fleas jumping in his fur. The mouse understood why the mighty cat was itching so much.
Aw, you have fleas. Let me help you.
How can you help me? You're just a little mouse. Leave me alone. Oh.
The little mouse bravely jumped on him, ignoring the lion's rude comments.
What are you doing? Get off of me.
The mouse started to crawl through the thick, scruffy fur and throw out all the fleas. But this made the lion's situation even worse. He started itching himself with his paws. The lion could not bear the itch and leaned his back against the tree. This time he started to rub right and left.
Oh no! I was almost crushed.
I can't stop. The more you run over me, the more I itch. Get off, mouse.
The lion ran to a nearby lake. He quickly jumped into the water. The mouse on his back was nearly drowned.
Mr. Lion, get out of the water right away or I'll drown.
The lion came out of the lake, but then proceeded to shake himself dry. He was shaking his body so hard and so fast that the mouse barely was able to hang on to that thoughtless lion.
I've almost got the itch taken care of, Mr. Lion. Just a little bit more to the left.
The lion finally stopped himself. The mouse threw out the last few fleas that remained on the lion.
How do you feel now?
Well, it's like my itching is gone.
Because I have cleaned all the fleas for you, sir.
The lion was very embarrassed with how rude he was.
When you asked for help, I looked down on you, mouse. But you still did everything in your power to save me from this difficult situation. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Lion.
Come on, hop on my back, and I'll take you home.
When the little mouse and the big lion arrived at the mouse's home, they heard loud snoring sounds flooding out of the big bear's cave.
Huh? What's that noise?
They then entered the cave.
Ah, you were right, mouse. Summer has come. The big bear is still sleeping.
The lion, the king of the forest, took a deep breath and roared so powerfully right into the ears of the big bear that the stone floor of his cave shook. Thanks to this powerful roar, the bear finally woke up and ran out of the cave.
Huh? What happened? Is there something wrong? What happened? Did the sun come out? Is it summer? Where is it?
While all the forest animals laughed at the big silly bear. Little Mouse was also very happy that the snoring was finally over.
While the mouse, one of the smallest members of the forest, was having a pleasant breakfast, his door started to be knocked as if it would break. When the mouse excitedly opened the door, he saw a sad gazelle in front of him.
Oh, Mouse, you must help me. Something very bad has happened.
What's wrong, Gazelle?
The lion.
The mouse began to tremble as soon as he heard the lion's name, because he was very afraid of him.
Since I am the king of the whole jungle, this is my home too,
he said, and took my home away from me, and I am homeless now. Everyone I asked for help to get my house back got scared and ran away.
Because he's a lion. We're all afraid of him.
But you are not like others, Mouse Brother. You are braver and smarter. Please help me.
After some thought, the little mouse agreed to help his friend.
they set out together. The lion was indeed in a deep sleep in the gazelle's garden. The little mouse wanted to nudge the lion with his giant paw to wake him up. But when the lion moved, he immediately backed away in fear. This time, even though he tried to wake him up by shaking his mane, the lion was snoring so much that the mouse was covering his ears and stayed where he was because of fear. While the little mouse was looking around for a long, thin stick to wake the lion, his tail touched the lion's whisker. The snarling lion suddenly awoke.
Achoo!
The lion, angry that he woke up from his pleasant sleep, came face to face with the mouse. He got up from where he was lying in anger.
Why did you wake me up? Or did you bring me food? Huh? Tell me!
Food? No, sir.
How dare you enter my garden?
Gazelle, sir.
What happened?
She fled to the mountain.
Then you should run away too, because now I'm going to devour you!
With a roar of the lion, the little mouse was dragged far away from him. The lion continued his sleep from where he left off. The next day, the mouse mustered up his courage and went back to the gazelle's garden.
Didn't I tell you to stay away from this garden?
Yes, you said, but,
So?
I was going to ask you if you've, seen the house the hyena built for himself?
What's wrong with his house?
It's much bigger and more majestic than yours, and it has a huge garden full of trees and beautiful grasses all around.
Oh, really?
The lion wanted to see that house, which was more flamboyant than the gazelle's house.
Come on, take me to the hyena's glorious house.
Even though the mouse was trembling with fear, he accepted the lion's request. After a while, they finally arrived at the hyena's house. However, there was neither a magnificent big house nor a garden full of trees. The hyena's house was just a small and very ordinary hole.
You liar mouse! Rah! I'll eat you up! Come here! Rah!
Realizing that he was deceived, the lion ran towards the mouse.
Oops!
The lion was running over the logs while the mouse was running through the logs. Just as the lion was about to grab the mouse's tail, the little mouse quickly climbed the tree.
Please, King of the Jungle, it's not my fault! I just wanted to help Gazelle!
The lion got even more angry and started shaking the tree with his giant paws.
Hurry down, you little mouse! Rah!
While the mouse was about to slip between the lion's paws on the swaying tree, a flock of hedgehogs got entangled in the lion's feet.
Get off!
Although the lion tried to get rid of the hedgehogs, their thorns kept stinging. Taking advantage of this, the mouse jumped from the tree into the middle of the hedgehog herd and escaped. Just when he thought he had eluded the lion, the mouse heard the thunderous footsteps and threw himself into the slime pool with a fury. However, because he was very light, he successfully landed on the ground again. As for the lion, his feet got stuck in the slime the moment he stepped into the slime pool to catch the little mouse.
What's that?
Don't move, sir, or you'll sink further!
I'm not going to take advice from you!
The mouse, who wanted to help the lion, took a piece of branch from the side and held it towards him.
Sir, hold on to this branch! I'll pull you out and save you!
I don't want to! I'll get out of here myself!
However, if the lion saved one of his feet, the other foot went into the mud, and as he struggled, he became covered with mud. And he finally gave up.
Mouse! I'm sinking! Help! Save me! I want to go back home! Please, hurry up!
The mouse collected the largest leaves from the gum tree next to them and laid them one by one on the slime.
Hurry, Lion! You can step on the leaves and get out!
Since the gum leaves are sticky at the bottom, they were not buried in the mud. The lion managed to get to the ground by stepping on the leaves, albeit with difficulty.
Oh, Mouse, I would have never survived if you hadn't thought about these leaves. I'm sorry for underestimating you. Tell me, what do you want from me, the king of the jungle, the lion?
The little mouse asked the lion to give the gazelle her home back. The lion immediately accepted this request. Because thanks to this tiny mouse that saved his life, he understood the value of having a home much better. And so the gazelle has returned to her home with a beautiful garden. The lion has fallen asleep in his den, and the little mouse has returned to his delightful breakfast. And everyone was talking about the great success story of this little member of the forest like epics.